Hey guys, in this video I'll show you the HiSKY HCP100S. It's an improved version of the older HCP100 Flybarless micro helicopter, but with a dual brushless motor for the main and tail. It's rebranded and sold as the Assault 100 at Hobby King. It's essentially a less expensive version of the Blade MCPX brushless edition. I got the bind and fly version, so it doesn't come with the transmitter or RF module. The helicopter is compatible with Spektrum DSM2 and DSM-X satellite receivers, so if you have one plugged in, it should work with it. I'll show you how to bind and configure it with the Spektrum DX6i and the AR6200 DSM2 satellite receiver later on in the video. So if you don't have a HiSKY or a Spektrum transmitter, you can buy it with the HT8 RF module that basically lets you control it with other transmitters. It plugs into the training port and should work with most modern radio systems. It's sold in a kit or separately for about $20. And of course you can obviously buy the ready to fly kit, which comes with the official X6S transmitter. Another compatible radio is the HiSKY H6 transmitter, which comes with the original HCP100. I ordered mine for $80 from the Chinese warehouse because it had the HCP100S with the newer firmware that worked with the DSM2 satellite receiver. I probably would have just ordered it from the US warehouse if I didn't need the DSM2 compatibility. But anyways, it came in 17 days and it came with minimal packaging. This is the package it came in. Very minimal. The helicopter and everything came in this box, and then it was wrapped with foam, and then it was put inside an envelope. And included in the box was this CD, which has the manual, and it comes with this 7.4 volt 2-cell 450 milliamp battery, and also a bag full of replacement parts. It has a couple of blades, the tail rotor, main gear, some linkages, and some tools. This micro helicopter is actually pretty small. It looked a lot bigger in photos, but anyways, I have the Blade MSR here for comparison. Obviously different types of helicopters. This is like a four channel fixed pitch helicopter. Very simple, but it's roughly the same size as the MSR. It's actually quite amazing how good micro helicopters are these days. They have most of their technology found in the bigger helicopters, but in a much smaller size. So I'm going to take the canopy off here and show you what it looks like on the inside. There's the brushless motor right there. There's the servos, and here's the receiver board and the ESC as well. And this little jack here is actually where you plug in the satellite receiver. And on the back here, the tail rotor is also brushless as well. So that's pretty much it right there. It's a pretty simple kind of helicopter, but more advanced than the MSR, obviously. It's been raining a lot these past few weeks, so I can't really take it out to fly it. So I'll just show you how to bind it with a Spektrum DX6i, which I have. Before we bind the receiver to the transmitter, we're going to go and set up the configuration. So find a model slot that you're not going to use. So in my case, I'm not using model number 4. So go all the way down to setup list, and all the way down again, all the way till you see reset, copy reset. This is where you can just reset, clear everything out, say yes. So the first thing you want to do is to name it. So go down to setup list and go to model name. Here you can name it whatever you want, but I'm just going to name it HCP, and go OK. Go back to your list. The next thing is to reverse your channels. There's only a couple of channels you need to reverse, just the gyro and the pitch channel. Set it to R, the rest you can leave alone. The next thing you want to change is the travel adjustment. You want the throttle to be at 100% for high and low, aileron to be 75 left and right, so left and right, and elevator you want at 80% high and low, and rudder you want 70% left and right, and the gyro will be 100, and pitch is at 75% high, and low. Next, you want to go modify your throttle curves. For normal position, we are going to go position, the lowest position is 0, and the rest you can set it at 85, position 2, 3, 4, and high. And for stunt, you'll have 95 for position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's all you need to change. And let's go modify the pitch curve now. The pitch curve for normal, for position, the first position is 40, then 45, 50, 75, and 100. And for stunt mode, you want to have 0, 25, 50, 75, and 100. And that's pretty much all the settings you need to do. Go back to the main menu and you're done. The next thing I'll show you is how to bind the receiver to your transmitter. So in order to make your HCP100S micro helicopter work with your Spektrum radio, you need to have a Spektrum DSM2 or DSMX compatible receiver. And the part that you need is a satellite receiver. You don't actually need the main part, but the main part is needed in order for you to bind it to the transmitter. And then you can take off the satellite receiver and then plug it to your HCP100S. But the main receiver is a requirement and you have to have it or else it's not going to work. You also need a way to power the receiver. In the manual it says you can just plug the battery directly up to the receiver. And in the case of the AR6200, it can actually accept voltages from 3.5 volts all the way up to 9.6 volts, which is fine. However, if you don't know what voltage your receiver can accept, don't plug the battery directly into the receiver. You can actually fry something. So some receivers only operate at like 6 volts, and a fully charged 2-cell battery is actually 8.4 volts, which is too much. So to be on the safe side, I'm actually going to use a ESC. This is an ESC, electronic speed controller, with a built-in BEC battery eliminating circuit, which allows me to plug the battery into it, and then this way the power will be converted down to a safer voltage, which I can then plug into the receiver. So this is what I would recommend if you don't know what receiver or which voltage your receiver can accept up to. So this is just an extra safe way to do it. Like I said, I know the AR6200 can operate at up to 9.6 volts, but I'm just trying to be extra safe here and show you a alternate method of doing it. So to start the binding process, what you want to do is get your bind plug and then plug it into the bind port of your receiver. And then the next thing you want to do is plug the battery up. In my case, I'm not going to plug the battery up directly. I'm going to use my ESC instead. And make sure you have the wires in the right orientation. In my case, the top is the signal wire, the middle is positive, and the bottom is negative. So I'm going to plug it into the throttle channel. So you can see that the receiver is blinking. So that means that it's waiting for a transmitter to pair with. And on your transmitter in the Spektrum DX6i, there is a trainer switch. And to bind it, you have to hold this trainer switch down and then turn it on. So that's what I'm going to do right now. And then when you let go, the light should stay solid, and then that would mean that it's bound. So after you bind your receiver to your transmitter, you want to take the satellite portion off and then plug it directly into your HCP100S. And you want to like zip tie it somewhere safe so it doesn't get in the way of the main blades. But I'm going to put it down here for now. And then what you want to do is turn on your transmitter. Make sure your throttle and everything is in the low position. And then you want to plug up the battery. And the ACPS actually has a safety feature where you have to arm the actual helicopter before it even takes off. So to arm or enable it, what you have to do is move the throttle stick up, and then it beeps, and then you move it back down. Then that means that the helicopter is armed, and then when I apply throttle, it should spin up. And it actually spins up very slowly. That's it for now. Hopefully it stops raining and I can take it outside and maybe do a video. Until then, if you found this video useful, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.